Breaking news, Adolf Hitler's pet alligator has just died. Well, like a month ago. It died like a month ago. But I'm just finding out about it. Yes, Hitler! Like, fucking Hitler!
Listen, little bitch, we don't fuck with small talk. We associate with people that are known to call cops. See that shine from my wrist to my neck, it's all rocks. Gucci flip-flops with Louis Vuitton socks. Listen, little bitch, we don't fuck with small talk. We associate with people that are known to call cops. See that shine from my wrist.
And welcome back to another episode of Darth News. Today is a first-time special edition. Everybody hates Hitler, but we love his alligator. Before we get into it, I'm sure many of you are going, but Darth, why are we talking about Hitler? And especially, why are we talking about his pet alligator? Well, because this pet alligator is a goddamn hero. He's a World War II hero, and we must respect the Nazi alligator. What do you mean he was American? No, how could he be American if he was a Nazi? Well, that's true. There's the KKK. They're Nazis, you know. But still, it's not. I mean, it's a fucking alligator. Anyway, this alligator was being kept at a Moscow zoo in Russia. In case you didn't know, Moscow was in Russia. Well, it is. But to answer your questions, yes, the alligator was very old, obviously. So without further ado, let's read the article and see what the fuck is going on with this Nazi alligator. Applejack, take it away. You want me to say it? I was trying something new. So let's see what's up with this Nazi alligator. Applejack, hit it! Today's devastatingly tragic and sad news is brought to you by HuffPost. Hitler's alligator dies in Moscow Zoo. At the ripe old age of 84. So apparently Hitler's alligator dies, guys, and Saturn is the name of the alligator. He was once a resident of the Berlin Zoo until the facility was destroyed in a bombing raid during World War II. Let's read on. The alligator that survived the bombing raid on Berlin during World War II and was rumored to once have belonged to Nazi tyrant Adolf Hitler died at the Moscow Zoo on Friday, and he was 84. God bless his soul. You know, this alligator has seen some shit, you know, I mean, like, more shit than most people have seen in their lives. I never thought I would envy an alligator, but here I am. This alligator has served the Nazi regime very well. I wonder how many Jews this alligator fucking ate. The zoo said in an online statement that the alligator Saturn was picky eater who loved getting massaged with a brush. Am I reading this correct? Is this how you treat a Nazi soldier? Saturn was given the utmost care and attention, the zoo said. Well, I'm glad you're taking care of the Nazi alligators. Good for you. How am I supposed to read this? Anyway, we'll watch the video in a second. Let's keep reading. When Saturn was born in the United States... Oh, so it's an American. Oh, so it was held hostage. Okay, so this is good news. It was an American hostage that was, unfortunately, brainwashed and basically re-educated into the Nazi ways. But we won't blame him for that. We'll blame Hitler. So Saturn was born in the United States in 1936. That is actually before fucking the movie Wizard of Oz even came out. Yeah, I know. Shut up. He was gifted to the Berlin Zoo almost immediately. So, okay, so he was born in the U.S., and so the United States gifts this alligator to Berlin. Who knows? But the Berlin Zoo was hit during several bombing raids in World War II, and in 1943 the facility was destroyed by one, killing many of the animals and releasing the others. It's unclear, though, where Saturn was for the next 3 years. So Saturn just had its own life to live. It wanted to be free in the swamps of Berlin, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was chilling in a little underground Nazi facility, or maybe some kind Jewish folk took in this Nazi alligator and nurtured it, and everything was cool. I don't know. Again, it was originally an American. But anyway, in 1946, Saturn was gifted by British forces to Berlin. Okay, see if I would just read a little bit more, I'd figure shit out. And almost immediately, the myth was born that he was allegedly in the collection of Hitler and not in the Berlin Zoo. The zoo said in its news release, "It's a big old alligator, yeah." So no direct connection between Saturn and Hitler have ever been substantiated. Even if the alligator had belonged to Hitler, the zoo said, "Animals are not involved in war and politics. It's absurd to blame them for human sins." Well, I mean, they could be guilty by association. I mean, they may have eaten plenty of alive people. You know what I mean? They were complicit in the... I'm making shit up at this point. Let's keep reading. The oldest alligator in captivity is another World War II survivor, Muja, gifted to the Belgrade Zoo in Serbia in 1936, according to the Guinness World Records. Muja was already an adult at the time and is believed to be in his 90s. Live in the wild typically up to the age of 50. No, they actually live much older than 50. The only reason alligators die, true fact, is because they lose their teeth at a certain age and they can no longer catch prey. They can't actually eat. They can't feed. So they starve to death. So the number one cause of alligator death is starvation, because they eventually start to lose their teeth. They keep everything else. Everything else they keep except their teeth. So if they could find a way to keep alligators' teeth from falling out, then alligators would most likely never die. They would live on for hundreds of years. It would be kind of cool to see that. But anyway... there you have it. This alligator is actually an American who was captured and turned into a Nazi. And unfortunately, just passed away. But at least it got to live a lot longer than Hitler. You know, at least it got to see, you know, what the world has come to. I wish there were more Nazi alligators, because I would start a fund for the Protect the Nazi Alligators in the Wild Foundation. I would have done that. So maybe this wasn't actually Hitler's alligator, because there's no way to substantiate that it was. But hear me out. If it was, then that means this is the last piece of living history that is connected to the Fuhrer. Well, he's not. Well, it just died. My point is, anything that has been connected to Hitler is now dead. Well, yeah, I know. Nazis still exist, but I think what we should really focus on is Antifa.
Don't you understand, you dumb son of a bitch? Don't you understand?